Have you ever found yourself just lying in bed, lights out, you know you need to sleep, but your mind is just racing?
Oh, absolutely. It's incredibly common.
Yeah, you're trying to fall asleep, but it just feels impossible sometimes.
And it seems to get, well, more common as we get older. There's data showing nearly, what, 1 in 3 adults over 50 deals with some kind of insomnia.
Wow, 1 in 3, that's a lot.
Yeah, difficulty falling asleep or, staying asleep, maybe waking up way too early.
It really does feel harder with age for many people. Why exactly is that? What's going on?
Well, there are a few things changing in the body. Your melatonin production, that's the hormone that helps manage your sleep-wake cycle, it tends to decrease naturally over time.
Okay, less melatonin.
Right. And we can also see higher cortisol levels in the evening. Cortisol is that stress hormone.
Ah, stress, so daily life stuff.
Often linked to stress, yeah, or just lifestyle factors building up.
And I bet those screens we're all, glued to don't help.
Definitely not. That late night screen time, especially the blue light, it's a major disruptor.
How major?
Well, some research suggests even just, say, 30 minutes of scrolling before bed can push back your body's melatonin release by maybe an hour.
An hour, just from half an hour on the phone. Wow.
Yeah. Plus, things like irregular schedules, eating dinner really late, that can all mess with your circadian rhythms.
Your body clock.
Exactly, your internal clock that tells you, okay, time to be awake, now time to sleep.
Okay, so let's unpack this. We've got these biological changes happening, plus our modern habits making sleep trickier. What if there was one simple thing, something non-drug based you could try? Maybe even tonight. Using just your own body to maybe fall asleep a bit faster.
That would be ideal, wouldn't it?
Yeah. So that's kind of our mission for this deep dive. Find a practical tool, a shortcut maybe, to help quiet that racing mind and just ease into sleep.
Well, there's a technique that fits that bill pretty well. It's called the 4-7-8 breathing method.
The 4-7-8 method. Yes, I've heard of that. Popularized by Dr. Andrew Weil, right?
That's the one.
And it's pitched as this remarkably simple trick designed to slow your heart rate, calm things down.
Calm the nervous system, yeah. Help you transition into that sleep state. And it is surprisingly simple to actually do.
Okay, so for someone listening right now thinking, I need this, how do they actually do it? Walk us through the steps.
Okay, it's all about the counts. First, you quietly breathe in through your nose for a count of 4 seconds.
In through the nose, 4 seconds. Got it.
Then you hold that breath, just gently hold it for 7 seconds.
Hold for 7. Okay.
And finally, you breathe out slowly and completely through your mouth for a count of 8 seconds. You might make a quiet whoosh sound as you exhale.
Out through the mouth, 8 seconds.
Yeah.
A longer exhale.
Exactly. And you just repeat that whole, inhale 4, hold 7, exhale 8, 4 times in total.
Inhale 4, hold 7, exhale 8, repeat 4 times. That sounds almost too simple.
It does, doesn't it?
So this is where it gets really interesting for me. Why does this specific pattern work? What's the science saying here?
Okay, so it seems to work on 2 levels. Physiological and psychological.
Body and mind.
Right. Physiologically, when you deliberately slow your breathing down like that, it sends a signal to your body. It's basically saying, hey, you're safe, you can relax.
Yeah.
It helps counteract that fight or flight stress response.
Okay, makes sense.
That holding the breath part, the 7 seconds. Some research suggests that briefly increasing the carbon dioxide level gently like that might actually improve how oxygen gets delivered to your tissues when you resume breathing.
Ah, interesting detail.
And that long exhale, the 8 seconds, that seems particularly key. It physically helps to slow down your heart rate.
So you're kind of manually shifting your body into a lower gear.
Precisely. Yeah, you could think of it that way. It's often described as helping to activate your parasympathetic nervous system.
That's the rest and digest system, right? Not the fight or flight.
Exactly. Rest and digest. So this breathing can help lower those stress hormones, like cortisol we mentioned, and bring down your heart rate, sometimes quite quickly. Some people call it a natural tranquilizer for the nervous system.
A natural tranquilizer. I like the sound of that.
Yeah.
No side effects needed.
Right.
And what about the other side, the psychological part? How does just focusing on breath help with, the thoughts, the busy mind?
Oh, that's the other really powerful piece. When you're concentrating on the counting 4, 7, 8, and the actual feeling of the breath moving in and out.
You're focused.
You're focused, you're actively redirecting your attention, you're pulling it away from that endless loop of thoughts, worries, plans. whatever is keeping you awake.
So it gives your brain something else to do, something calm.
Exactly. For people who tend to lie there and just overthink everything, it's a simple active task. It becomes this little ritual almost that signals to your brain, okay, thinking time is over. We're doing this calming thing now. Time to get ready for sleep.
Like drawing a line under the day.
Mm-hmm. And you know, it's interesting. This isn't just some obscure practice anymore. You're seeing health professionals recommend it more often.
Really? As like a serious alternative?
Yeah, as a safe, simple, non-drug option for people struggling with sleep. The big pluses they point out are, you can do it anywhere, no special equipment, no side effects.
And no risk of dependency, which is huge compared to medication.
That's a really important point, yes. No dependency.
So it sounds powerful on its own. Does it work even better if you combine it with other things?
Absolutely. I mean, while the 478 is a great tool, it's even more effective when it's part of a broader approach to good sleep habits.
Like the classic advice.
Yeah, the foundational stuff, like, maybe avoiding caffeine after 2 p.m. or so.
Always a tough one for me.
Tell me about it. And turn off those screens at least an hour before bed, minimizing that blue light.
Right, the melatonin killer.
Exactly. And making sure your bedroom is really set up for sleep. Cool, quiet, and importantly, dark. The breathing helps you relax in the right environment.
Setting the stage. Okay. Are there any other extra tips specifically for making the 4-7-8 breathing itself work even better?
Yes. Creating a wind-down routine is highly recommended in the sources.
A wind down. What does that look like?
It could be, say, 30 to 60 minutes before you plan to actually get into bed and do the breathing. During this time, you consciously shift gears. Maybe you drink a calming herbal tea, chamomile, lemon balm, something like that. You definitely dim the lights, avoid harsh overhead lighting.
Setting the mood.
Setting the mood, exactly. Maybe read a physical book, listen to some calming music, perhaps use a weighted blanket if that helps you feel grounded. Things that signal relaxation.
So you're sort of easing your body and mind towards sleep before you even hit the pillow and start the 4-7-8.
Precisely. Think of it like preparing for sleep the way an athlete warms up before exercising. You're creating the best possible conditions for the technique to really land effectively.
That makes a lot of sense. It's not just a magic button, but a tool you use within a smarter routine.
Exactly right.
Okay, so wrapping this up, what's the main takeaway here?
I think the core message is pretty clear.
Yeah.
Getting to sleep faster doesn't have to be super complicated. It doesn't always require external stuff.
You don't necessarily need the pills.
Right.
You don't need fancy gadgets.
Right. You basically have a powerful tool already built in. It's your breath.
And it just takes, about a minute?
Yeah, about 60 seconds of focus to do those 4 cycles of 4-7-8.
It really sounds like something anyone listening could try.
Yeah.
Like tonight.
Definitely. Give it a shot.
Who knows? It might become a favorite little part of your evening routine.
It's certainly worth trying, maybe as part of that wind down time we were just talking about.
Yeah. And speaking of evening habits and things that might be messing with sleep.
Yeah.
Beyond the screens, beyond the caffeine, apparently there's a really common, maybe even seemingly innocent part of a lot of people's evenings.
Something you eat or drink.
Something you might be snacking on that could actually be kind of secretly working against your sleep.
A dietary thing. That could be surprisingly impactful, couldn't it?
Building on what we've talked about with routines and biology, it's something worth considering about how everything fits together. Just some food for thought for tonight.